9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. Your councilman is here after a very, very interesting NXT right now. We're still catching the end of it right now, ending with Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vaquer. I feel like the positions should be a little different. Definitely feel like the champ should have been in the ring, but you know, hey, we here, right? So yeah, just I don't know, what a pretty good. It was a pretty good NXT, man. Shout out to Aminatu joining in. The rest of you know that are coming in. We are here for the NXT post show. So let's go ahead and kick it off. How NXT started. NXT started with a banger, of course, with the No Quarter Catch crew coming out. Addressing us, of course, getting ready for Battlegrounds with Obafemi taking on Miles Osborne for the NXT title at Battleground in Tampa, which is supposed to, I think will be cool. I don't think it's a main event. That's just me, but it is a cool match. Again, I think it's something like I said last time when he did win the Battle Royal. It's something we haven't seen in a long time, especially like those folks that you won't necessarily think is going to be put into the title picture and then just instantly thrust into there. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Miles Bourne has been doing everything that he needs to. He's playing all the cards right into making himself be seen as a serious contender for titles, not just even the NXT title, but I think just for titles in general. You know, again, we can see No Quarter Catch crew. You start to kind of, you know, we of course look at Charlie Dempsey as the leader. We see Ren Sinclair's coming out party. Even Tavion Heights got his moments of shine and stuff too. But Miles Osborne, Miles Bourne. I don't know why I keep calling him Miles Bourne. I'm so sorry. Miles Bourne, and that's what kept feeling wrong. I was like, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. But case in point, you know, Miles Bourne had yet to get the spotlight put on him. Like, it's like, okay, everybody else has kind of had their moments, but with him outside of a tag team match, Miles Bourne hasn't really gotten his shine yet, hasn't gotten that chance to really, like, if given the opportunity to be able to take and show what he can do. And I think this is finally that time for him to do that, to be shown as a serious singles competitor. And so he also had a match later on in the night with Ethan Page, as we learned that he put his #1 contendership on the line against Ethan Page, which again, another very bold statement from Miles Bourne in making sure that he is solidifying himself as a superstar to be taken seriously here on NXT, not just in a group with the No Quarter Catch crew. And then, of course, we had another one of the No Quarter Catch crew. Charlie Dempsey would be taking on the Ruler, Obafemi, and that was the opening match. And, I mean, come on now. Did anybody expect anything different from Obafemi and Charlie Dempsey? Did anybody expect any different? Come on. This is a coming out episode for Miles Bourne. Exactly, Bose. I don't know if you did hear me in there, but I'd said, like, every one of the No Quarter Catch crew has had their defining moment. They've had their time to be able to show why they would be taken seriously in the future as a singles competitor, except for Miles Bourne. And now we're seeing that, and I think he's getting the biggest rub out of all of them, with the exception of Ren Sinclair. I think she did well in the Iron Survivor Challenge. I wish they put her in more matches. I don't know why she's still being sidelined, because I love watching her wrestle. She is a phenomenal competitor in the ring. And then let's see, Logan James saying, if Will Ospreay versus Hangman is the main event in Double or Nothing, they can totally see Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams main event in NXT Battleground. Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt Oba's opening the show. the NXT Championship is maybe opening the show, or they may do a double main event. But I definitely see, like, because we're making history. We're doing the TNA Championship being defended on the WWE PLE. Like, that's main event right there. Just with everything that Joe Hendry, brings to the table, that just seems like it's obvious. But I feel like Oba and Miles will open the show. And let's see, I was thinking the Councilman doing the opening match. It felt like a cardio session for the Council. Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. Like, did anybody think it was gonna go any different result? Like, it was gonna be a different result? Did anybody think, like, hey man, Charlie Dempsey may do it? Charlie Dempsey did just what he was supposed to do. He showed why he is a competitor to take seriously. Not saying that he is, bottom of the barrel material. But again, man, this is the ruler. This is the NXT champion. We know what he's coming with. He's coming with that hot fire. You know what I'm saying? It will be the Sunday Night Wars on May 25th. You think Jordan Grace is going to beat Stephanie McCurve at NXT Battleground? Nope. We'll get to that, though. We're going to get to that. We gotta stay on the tracks a little bit. But I will explain why I believe Stephanie will retain her NXT championship. And so we also had, again, in that beginning segment, Miles Bourne putting his number one contendership on the line against Ethan Page. Once again, not a person you just openly put in there unless you're really trying to let people know, like, hey, I'm here to do this thing and I want to be taken seriously. And to Bose's point, Miles Bourne showed this was his coming out episode, and he did a phenomenal job. Lexis King and Nikita Lyons got demoted to Evolve. Lexis debuted Samara versus Shawn Legacy. So, I do want to address this, Bosa. I want to address this. Demote is a strong word. Okay. It's a strong word, and here's the reason why I'm gonna say that. And Nikita Lyons and I believe Lexis King are two prime examples of this. Evolve kind of speaks in the name. It helps you to evolve into a WWE superstar. And let's be honest, there's a few NXT stars that are still trying to figure out how to make their character work. And everything. And I don't need to apologize, Bose. Because again, when you say demote, and I know we used to do that stuff when you see people on main event and just doing those shows, we look at it as it being like demoted. But again, I think these are two people that are still trying to get their footing, still trying to figure out, okay, what do I do? And how can I fix my character that I'm trying to portray out into the audience to be a little bit better? Same thing with ring performance as well. And I think being around new bloods, being around new energy, folks that are coming up, folks that have so many ideas that they want to throw around, that they want to try, that they want to do, gives them a better shot at helping them evolve and getting better in their character, especially like a Nikita Lyons or a Lexis King. And then also, too, it doesn't keep them benched, as Nick Khan likes to say, especially over at NXT, because NXT now is starting to become more of a televised show. Like, it's no longer like the upstart. It's no longer the development show. It is the third show for WWE, especially with its partnership with TNA. So you still get a chance to kind of work your bugs out, but it's like that's really what NXT is. NXT is like, okay, NXT is the final phase of GTA 6. GTA 6 is done. We're just trying to work these bugs out. We're trying to make sure it can work. We're trying to make sure that if we put this thing out that we've invested so much money in, that when it goes to the main roster, hey, it's selling. It's doing what it needs to do. And that's what NXT is for now. But when you're still a game that's in development, like we haven't gotten a full-fledged good run product yet, you go down to Evolve. But I think that's good for Nikita and for Lexis King because it gives them a chance to work on that and then come back even stronger if they allow, if they are still given and granted them chances, which I'm sure they will. But I only say that too because of that's what I was hoping for Ora Mensa, and then unfortunately, he was one of the people in that group of folks that were released because that's how I saw it when he had to go to Evolve. I was like, yo, he's got the in-ring skills, and all he needs is just to figure out that personality that will attach to the audience. And I think he's golden. But unfortunately, we know what happened. So, but yeah, I think that's one of those things that is a good thing that Evolve is there because it gives you a chance to kind of get back to the basics and figure out what makes you tick, what makes you work, what doesn't work, and what do we need to improve. So, but we also had the D'Angelo family rivalry, get even bigger in this story. Don't know if y'all are interested, but Tony D'Angelo took on Wesley, and then during this match, we found out that Stax has found the location to Riz's I guess witness protection hideout that she was at, her safe house. Not sure exactly what he thought Stax was going to do to Riz. But the distraction was enough for Wesley to capitalize and to win the championship, to win the match, to win the match tonight over Tony D'Angelo. And it seems like it's just continuing to escalate. It seems that Stax does want to be the head of the family. He smells blood in the water. He sees the cut in Tony D'Angelo, the nicks in the armor, and he is going for it. And the fact that he's growing a full-out beard is hilarious. To me, I just find that so funny. But we now know that they are going to face each other at Battlegrounds in Tampa. So that should be very interesting. Like I said, the story is starting to pick up a little speed. We just want to see exactly where it goes. Does it have a dope ending? Then we have the NXT Women's Champion coming out, La Primera, Stephanie Vicker, to address Jordan Grace and her upcoming match between her at Battlegrounds. And it was very interesting. I saw something very interesting. I don't know if y'all caught it. Maybe y'all caught it. Let me explain a little further. Stephanie came out, and then Fatal Influence came out. But was it fully Fatal Influence? Because someone seemed to be missing. Now, if someone can clear this up for me, because maybe I'm just grasping at straws. You know how I like to have my conspiracy theories. But where was Jasmine Nix? So if someone could clear it up, maybe Bo's like, did something happen when they were in TNA as far as the storyline went to where like she's kind of out for action? Because I'm very curious with something I already know that I'm not going to say live. Something I know and saw during the WrestleMania weekend, but also very interesting that she's not on television. So I'm just curious. Where was Jasmine Nix when Fatal Influence came out? And I do love the tit for tat that Fallon and JC is having, because I feel like it can make both of them stronger, because as much as, I know the champ Stephanie is trying to continue to work on her English and stuff like that. And you can tell that she is really trying, and she is getting a lot better at it. Just some of the little nuances and stuff like that we have to, that she has to figure out. But you could tell that she's really pumping it up and trying to learn this and taking it seriously. But Jasmine Nix, nowhere to be seen. And Fallon Henley and JC Jane was actually throwing out some jewels as they were kind of arguing with each other. I enjoyed it because it was like, they're not telling lies. I thought that was such a great promo and segment between them, because it's like, you saw it. It's like, it's these two shiny new independent toys in a way. I know Jordan was signed with TNA and stuff, but It's these new ones and these against these women who have been here, who have been PC trained, who have held down the fort for years. Even to JC James' point, like all of y'all have held gold. I can't relate as far as the single titles go. And I'm like, yo, they dropping bars right now. And I thought that was really cool. Jordan coming out to say she's protecting her investment by making sure Stephanie doesn't get hurt. I was like, okay, I get it. Juggernaut wants you at 100% when she beats you and stuff. Just a little too much for me. Just a tad bit. Just a tad. It felt like very sitcom, and it's just like, okay, I wouldn't have seen that in Raw, but it is on the main roster. But it also could be something that's a little bit refreshing. It's like, hey, yo, I'm being forthcoming and honest with you. Like, when I beat you, I want to beat you, and I think that does show a warrior spirit. So again, it was kind of a little much for me, but she stuck the landing enough that led to them to have the main event, which was a tag match between Fatal Influence and Stephanie McCurry and Jordan Grace. And so even before that segment, though, we also had learned of another match that was going to happen between Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley. Of course, Tatum Paxley really feeling the blow from her friends being gone. Hold on. Apologies. Still feeling that blow of her whole group being gone. Like both her friends out of there, just her. Like, and she sold that. She sold that cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She sold that. Why is Triple H pairing EO with Rhea Ripley? EO needs her own storyline with Kairi Sane or Asuka. Rhea needs to go to SmackDown. Couldn't agree with you more. Get Karen Ripley out of there. Also, too, I would have much rather seen Kairi Sane and Asuka line up with Julia. If you let that happen and Julia's in the forefront, that's all I'm saying. That'd be a crazy trio. But I agree with you, Mackenzie. I'm move Rhea to SmackDown. Give Rhea new competition, and please get her away from the title. It's not that I don't like seeing her in the title picture. I love Rhea Ripley as champion. I mean, it's Rhea Bloody Ripley. But I've seen that saga already. Can I get a new chapter? Can we get a new lineage that doesn't have to center around Rhea? Because I've said this about EO now as champion. I don't want her getting the Liv Morgan effect. Liv Morgan's majority of her entire reign as champion was centered around taking on Rhea Ripley. And I don't need that for EO. I don't need that to have Rhea be the circumference that everybody is spinning around so she can get a championship. It's like, yo, you lost 3 times. You lost the belt. You lost the rematch. You lost the triple threat match. Like, yo, how many times does she get a chance to keep being in the title picture? What happened to getting to the back of the line? 3 strikes you out, right? That's what baseball terms go. Like, how is she not like having to earn getting back into the title picture? That's why I was just like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But also, too, I didn't even understand the pairing of Julia and Roxanne either. And so it was kind of a cluster F for me. Didn't like how it ended either. I'm just like, yo, like I really believe Roxanne and Julia should have won. And I don't mean that in the sense of just being biased because that's my client, but the fact of they haven't beaten them before. So this was the time for you to use the heel tactics and let them pick up a victory. But it's like, what? So we can watch Rhea do this too? It's like, all right, okay. I get it. It works for the fans. I understand. Cool. But it's starting to get a little stale with that. Like, I want to know who's EO's next opponent, and I don't need it to be Rhea Ripley. So if this was to show that, hey, we buddy, I support you as champion, go forward, please let that be it. Please let that be it. So That was why Stephanie revealed on Busted Open she wanted to go to the PC. Her goal was to be able to speak 100% English. She is a matured wrestler. Most people bypass NXT if given the chance. Yeah, no, that was very smart. Jordan also had the same thing I found out. I can't tell you how I found that out, but Jordan was also given the same opportunity. But the same thing with she wanted to work on how to do stuff for the camera better. Because as much as TNA does work for that, she wanted to be able to know how to do it on a grander scale. She also wanted to be a part of the best women's division and stuff like that. But she also was given the opportunity to go straight to the main roster. But I like that, though. I like being able to recognize yourself and understand, like, hey, no, let me get this right. I get that I'm hot. I get that I can be this next thing you want to strap the rocket on. But I want to make sure I'm 100% on my A game. Which is, I think, another reason why people get attached to Stephanie so much, because you can see this is something she truly cares about. Wrestling is the love of her life. This is her romance. This is her fairy tale, and she is not going to let anything mess it up. So we also had that. We also found out that the finalists of the LFG will be facing in Madison Square Garden. The winner will receive an NXT contract. Just very curious as some of the other ones that didn't make it who gonna get a contract as well, as we know how these television spots go. But I think it was really cool to see that and some of the locker room vets come through, like Lash Legend, Lola Vice. We also learned that Kaylani and Zarya, we running it back. We running it back. Once again, next week, Kalani Jordan and Zarya will be going, and this is going to be a number one contendership match for, well, I don't know if it's a number one contendership match. Let me not say that. If Kaylani wins, she will get a title shot for the North American Championship. So don't know if it's a number one contenders match, but I kind of feel like I know they might want to set up the friends turn bitter rivals, but one thing I would like to see, I would love to see Zarya tell her, hey, if you win, you get a title shot at Battleground. You were in that match too. I want to face competition, and so who better to face than my friend? Because I know you're not going to hold back. I know you're going to bring it. This is going to help me solidify myself as a champion by taking on the absolute best. And you deserve a shot at this title because you're my friend. I would love to see that. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I would love to see that be what they maneuver to with Zarya and Kaylani. But with Zarya and Soul, but we'll see. A lot of real cool matches for next week. Surprised it's only a shot on the line for Kaylani. I agree with Councilman. Yeah. I would think it'd be a number one contendership match, but we'll see exactly what happens. Something happened with Chase U. I don't care. I'm not talking about it. We understand. So whatever. Cindy, the Fat Rocks, and Julia weren't mentioned on NXT tonight. Tells me they silently got called up. Yeah, no, it's official. Yeah, I actually Googled it. It is, well, for Roxanne is confirmed. I don't know if it's confirmed for Julia Sindel, but I did find out Roxanne is officially on the main roster already. I believe she is a part of Monday Night Raw. If not just I think it just may be a call up already. I think she's a part of the main roster. I don't think they've placed her yet. I don't think they've put her on which show she's going to go on, which is either going to be Raw or SmackDown. That's something I think they may be saving for the draft, but she has been officially called up. Not sure for Julia though. And I'm also glad of that whole breakup too at the end. Like, yes, split that apart. If y'all not finna make that group that I showed, the group that I thought was gonna be dope with them, Finn Balor and AJ Styles and JD, then yeah, break that up and let Julia fly on her own, man. Put her in the fire, let her work. Stop trying to put training wheels on her. I be feeling like everything just want to be on the floor for some reason. I would think you would, Councilman. Next week is Chase U. Anyway, I'm not. Again, I don't talk about them. I told you I refuse to talk about them. I refuse to talk about them, and I will stand 10 toes down on that. I'm not talking about them. Yeah, Julia's in social media video told your client there is no we, which is good. Which is good. Exactly. I refuse. I refuse to give them any airtime. But we also got to see. I think we're gonna have a match between Javon Evans and Ashante as well. I'm not sure if that's confirmed yet, but we saw some. No. What's confirmed is we're getting that legacy kid from Evolve and from LFG taking on Javon Evans. That challenge was issued by Legacy via Twitter, so we will potentially maybe see that coming soon against the young OG, which again I think would be a incredible match between them. So I would definitely like to see that. Julia literally did the we get freshman. Yeah, I just walk off. Yeah, man. I just protect Julia, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. With this success from EO, man, y'all clearly can figure something out with her. So, but just keep them away from Rhea. Rhea, just keep them away. It's a triple threat. Sean Legacy, Javon Evans, Ashante the Adonis. Ooh, the next step in the NXT North American Championship picture was see. Yeah, I like that. I keep wanting to call him Joe Legacy, and that's not his name. Sean Legacy. That's gonna be a great match. I can't stand Ashante's character. I think it definitely needs some work, but that man can go in the ring. This triple threat match is gonna be one of those show stealers. I don't know if they're gonna do it on a regular NXT or if it's gonna hit Battleground or what, but that's gonna be a fire match. That is gonna be such a fire match. We also saw the contract signing between Joe Hendry and Trick Williams for the TNA Championship bout at Battleground. History being made. The TNA Championship being defended on the WWE PLE, and I have no doubt that that's going to be the main event. Words were exchanged. I love that they did it in the office. I like that they did it in the office and not outside the ring. Not outside, but outside in the ring. Really enjoyed that segment. I thought that was really good. I was like, it feels professional. It feels more intense. It feels like, ooh, I can feel it. I was like, okay, I'm getting excited about this. Hollywood Trick. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. Thought that would have closed the show out, but I'm glad it didn't. And I'm glad that the women got to close out again in tag team action. Fatal Influence minus Jasmine Nix taking on Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace. Phenomenal main event. So good. Of course, the champ and the number one contender picking up the win. And just kind of makes it, wondering just what does that do with Fatal Influence? Where does that push them next? But it definitely showed us of how they are pushing the NXT championship in the women's division very further, as well as two before that happened. Let me backtrack just a little. Miles Bourne taking on Ethan Page and beating Ethan Page clean. So to Bose's point, you want to talk about a coming out episode for a superstar? Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne is showing you why he can be an investment and why he can be somebody to take seriously in NXT. Just got to deter off that Orton path, man. Them RKO chants. They cool now, but it's going to start. It's going to start kind of coming back to bite you a little bit. So just be careful, Miles. You got to. I like you. I like where you're moving with it, but also too, let's start to kind of shift to where we know it's Miles Bourne and it's not, hey, is that Randy Orton's son in there? We don't want that. So just saying. And then before everything ended, we saw that Ethan Page attacked Ricky Saints in the back, which means that rivalry is not done. So I'm sure we're going to see them run it back. And maybe the NXT North American title will be on the line. Who knows? Let's see some more of these comments. It's on regular NXT. We have Kalani Azaria, the triple threat. Okay, Joe Hendry in concert. First time on NXT, Trick will actually put on a rap performance. Okay. Never heard him rap outside of the diss track. So that's going to be interesting. I do have to worry where Bianca's going to end up when she's back to SmackDown. Yeah, back to SmackDown. Definitely back to SmackDown. Unless, like we said, if the draft is still happening and everything else is up in the air. But that's why I feel like she could even take a break from everything because of the fact, like, broken fingers, you go just right back where you were, which is now you can even go back for the women's title. And we get Tiffy versus Bianca, which I think would be something insane and amazing. But again, she only really took that title because Charlotte and Tiffy had to go for it. So that was the only thing that she could battle to get. So, but yeah, I think she just goes back to SmackDown and continues to be a glorious self. And then we see where she lands in this whole bout with Jade and Naomi. So, but overall, this NXT, I give it an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10, man. It checked all the boxes that it needed. It pushed the stories forward, gets us a little bit more excited for Battlegrounds. And I just like that we got to see the running pattern I saw today was spotlighting the future. And I liked seeing that today on this episode of NXT, from Miles Bourne coming out, even No Quarter Catch Crew, with Charlie Dempsey going up against the NXT champion. Like, that is incredible. That is incredible. Miles Bourne taking on a veteran and Ethan Page, beating him clean. Tatum Paxley showing, like, forging her own path with Thea Hale spotlight, and even the LFG people getting a spotlight, even showing Nikita Lyons and Izzy Dame during that segment with the LFG folks. It showed a lot of like what NXT is going to be investing in for the future. And, not to be cliche, but the future is looking really bright for this next chapter of NXT, when a lot of these folks that we are fan favorites of ours begin to get that call up and everything. Yes, Aminatu, Tatum Paxley did lose it tonight, and she's well in her right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she lost both her friends. Like, both of her friends. Like, she is Liv Morgan right now after the Riot Squad. It's like, now what I do? Like, yo, man, like, that's who I chilled out with at catering with. That's who I, was outside of the locker room where we go find a spot and just be cool with each other. And it's like, showing up to work and your friend's not there no more. It's like, no, I was like, yo, she was right to be mad. She was like, oh, you sitting here thinking your friends and shit like that. You want to throw your friendship in my face, you basic B words. I was like, oh, Tatum has lost it. Tatum has lost it fully. And I like it, but that's why I say I like seeing a lot of those people today. I think this episode of NXT did a great job of finding that balance of displaying the future, showing the talents that have been there that we're now getting our eye on to kind of like lift up, but also to give us those fan favorites and some of those veterans. This felt like a real good, even episode of NXT. It didn't feel like, okay, we're still getting just the same people advancing their story. It seemed like we got to learn a lot about what's going on in the NXT locker room. So all in all, I give it an 8.5. I give it an 8.5. Especially with no title happening to be on the line, some of our champions being present. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's NXT. So I will give it an 8.5 out of 10. But I want to say thank y'all for joining me for the post show, good old NXT post show. I will give 3 minutes for questioning. It's a Q&A with your councilman. Any questions, throw them in the chat before I get out of here. I will give you all we'll give you 4 minutes. Like a problem. This is the press conference time. And I'm John Cena. Brian Sherman posted on his IG said he was to be let go from his enormous yacht fishing boat increase. Good on him. Yeah, man. And once again, like I said, here's the thing people have to understand with these releases. And I think apologies. I'm about to call him by his old name, but Matt Cardona said it best. You can either let this beat you, you could ride your name that you've built here in WWE, and you could become a legend, which is very much true. You being in WWE carries a lot of weight everywhere else. Indy Hartwell is the prime example right now. She signed a TNA and she just won the House of Glory Women's Championship. Like, that's former WWE NXT champion Indy Hartwell. Same thing with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was a WWE champion. He was a tag team champion. I believe he may have won the Intercontinental Championship as well. Don't quote me on that one. But he's a champion. So you can go anywhere, do anything. That's why I said a lot of these people that got let go, they will be fine. It is really just finding your placement. And the same thing with like Nikita Lyons and Lexis King going to Evolve. It's like, yo, build your character. Work on your character. And make WWE see why, hey, I'm a product that can definitely be pushed, and there's an audience and a place for me there. Because as long as you haven't burnt any bridges, as long as you haven't done anything where it's just like, yo, they'll never want to work with you again. Like, yo, like these folks can be back like that. I mean, look at it. Cora Jade is already about to have a GCW run. So they'll be okay. And for those, take a break. Relax. Enjoy yourself. What will your WWE superstar name be? I'd stick to my name. It'd be the Anomaly Will Pharaoh. It'd be the Anomaly Will Pharaoh or the Mastodon Willie Pete. The Mastodon Willie Pete. Those would be my two WWE superstar names. You know, I'm already a superstar. So, you know, I'd come in like Logan Paul and I'd let everybody think, oh, it's just another YouTuber content creator that want to be a wrestler. Absolutely not. I was wrestling before I did this. So I'm a wrestler turned YouTuber that gets to come home. That would be my whole shtick as a WWE superstar. Sendil says, why do you hope who do you hope are champions come Crown Jewel? Ooh, you see what's interesting is right now, majority of the champions I don't want to see get the belts taken off. Like, I'll start with SmackDown. I definitely want the Street Profits to still be champs. Zelina Vega, still women's US champ. Jacob just... Unless Jake, I'd say that's a deal. That's the only one I'd see. Like, if Jacob could go to become WWE champion by Crown Jewel, I'm all for it. But right now, I'm pretty set with who's champ right now. Even with John Cena, like watching John Cena and Randy Orton go at it, I was like, I'm not mad he's champ. And then if I go to Raw, love New Day as the tag team champions. Love Dominic as the IC champion. This is no disrespect to Lyra. There's no disrespect to Lyra. I would like to see someone else with the IC title. And if I'm being honest, I would love to see Roxanne as the Intercontinental Champion by Crown Jewel. I would love to see her as that. If she can become the Intercontinental Champion by Crown Jewel, I would love to see that. World Heavyweight Champion. Oof. I love Jey Uso. I want him to keep continuing this story, but for the sake of your question, I would say I would like to see Finn Balor as World Heavyweight Champion. I would love for him to actually get a championship run. I want to see what a championship run from Finn Balor looks like for the world title. Cedille says, I really hope Kyrie gets a mid-card title run soon. I would like that. I didn't think about her or Asuka because they're Asuka's still in the win, but I know Kyrie's back. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't know, like, you know, because I know she was a heel before she got injured. I'm not gonna lie, her having the championship in the treasure chest was fire to me. I don't know if anybody else liked it or if they wasn't rocking with it. I loved when she had the NXT championship in the treasure chest. I'm like, oh yes, Kyrie, let's do it. She's all in as the pirate princess. I was like, or the sky pirate. I was like, yes, that is dope. But I would like to see them to get titles. I think right now we're in a good position where a lot of these folks that we've been waiting for to have that, we're going to get to see have their come out period in the next like 2 to 3 years. Yeah, Kyrie was so stylish with the NXT belt. I would love to see that run again. I'm that's why I'm so on it with the whole Rhea thing, is because we're in that space now where a lot of these people that we were seeing just kind of be in the back, kind of not being utilized. It's like, now is the time. We got the mid-card titles. We got the world titles. It's like, let's get some of these folks who y'all aren't 100% sure on being a world champion. Like, let's get them in the mid-card picture. Let's give them a chance to show y'all what we see in them. And I think that we will start to see that within the next 3 years. I think you're going to see a lot of folks that we've looked at, we've watched, but never kind of really get that big pick or that big draw. I think you're going to start to see that now. So, also, and I do take it back with the women's. I would love to see Alexa Bliss as champion again. Even if that means mid card, I'd take mid card, but I would love to see her with the. I love to see that again. I would love to see that again. So, but that's going to be my time here on the NXT post show. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for checking it out. Those that are always jumping in the comments, I'm not to Cendille, Boza, Mackenzie, Johnson. Appreciate you stopping in today, throwing in the comments as well. Just appreciate y'all each and every single time. Logan James as well. Thank y'all for tuning in to the post show. I'm going to do my best to be on tomorrow because I definitely want to talk about Monday Night Raw and the effects we saw. Let's see. Feel better. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's getting better. The chest cold is gone. Now it's just here and stuff, but I'm getting better. I'm definitely getting better. So I still say Rhea and Ero didn't need to win that last night, too. Yeah, no, that's why I might get on. That's why I might get on tomorrow. I don't think that they should have lost that. As much as they've had to go toe-to-toe with these women and have not picked up a victory, this was the victory that should have been picked up. A clean sweep was fucking ridiculous. And I feel like you did that because of Rhea. And I don't like that. It's like, what was the point of them being up here to prove that they're the future and they lost? That made no sense whatsoever to me. And I'm just like, what is this to promote? Like, what was this to promote? Now what? It's like that. It didn't make no sense to me. And I don't want to jump on that soapbox like that because I want to save some for tomorrow. But yeah, it's now starting to become a toxic thing with Rhea. And I don't know if they're seeing that, but it's like, y'all are really starting to make us not like her. As much as we like her, y'all making us not like her because none of us want to see her and Io go at it again. Even to Bo's point, I don't like that Rhea wants Io again. If anything, Rhea should be in the Women's Intercontinental Championship picture. The draft needed to happen yesterday. No, she just don't need to be in a title picture. Like, let her have regular matches. Like, why is it that she needs a belt to be on television? She doesn't. Let her face people regularly or send her to SmackDown. She doesn't need to keep having the World Heavyweight Championship center around her like she's the sun. Once again, I'm like, she got to battle for this thing 3 times in the last 3 months. Do y'all understand it? She had 2 matches in March and a match in April. And now it looks like we may be getting another one. Like, yo, stop. And you know what's funny? I'm glad you said that. That's what they are turning it into. And the problem is, it's not her. It's creative that's doing that because you don't want to let your cash cow go. You don't want to let that go. You see it amounts and results in the dollars, but yo, y'all are turning it into spoiled milk. She started to be Charlotte 2.0, which is real without a title. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what you turned it into. It's like, yo, why is she always in the title picture? Like, yo, like like y'all are really making us like wonder, like, yo, what happened to the back of the line thing? What happened to that? What happened to now earning your shot? You lost it to Io. You get a rematch. You lose the rematch, which, once again, a while ago, they said you don't get rematches. Yet she got one. And then you bombard into the WrestleMania picture and get put in a triple threat match with Bianca. And then Bianca gets upset because it's like, yo, I earned my spot and you're just bulldozing your way in because you can't accept defeat. And then y'all give it to her. And then y'all want to make Bianca seem like she the bad guy. Like, no. Like, let's really call a spade of like, who's being the selfish one right here? Who really is the bad guy? And I'm like, it's Rhea. You being selfish right now. Anyone could, when Roxanne and Julia was jumping her, anyone else could have came out that could have been the next person to be circled around that world heavyweight title. But it had to be Rhea again. It's like, come on, yo. Come on. Give me something else. Give us something new, man. Stop circling your champions around Rhea. That's all I'm saying, man. Being truly over doesn't need decorations. Exactly. And once again, I'm not saying that's Rhea's fault. I'm saying that's creative's fault. Like, yo, if she bad, let her walk without a belt. Let us see her without a belt. And I bet you she still make y'all the money y'all looking for. She can still go do the promos that you need to do. She can still be part of the brand deals that y'all needed to be a part of. She don't need the belt. So stop trying to make it seem like she need that thing when she don't. They had Bianca eat and pin instead of Rhea. That says everything. Yeah, because again, Rhea couldn't take another L. See, it's different if Bianca took it because it was like, yo, it's a competition. And if we're trying to put Io over, it made sense, even if it was just a singles match. That would have went over so much better. But the fact that you now have this third component put into it, it made her look bad. It made her eating the pin even worse because if Rhea would have ate that pin, we wouldn't be having this tag team thing because Rhea can't beat Io. And it's like, yo, we know that. Why y'all keep trying to give it to us then? But y'all got my pressure, man. Y'all got my pressure. But now I'm glad y'all brought that up. Like I said, we're gonna talk about it on WWT Live. I'm gonna make my best effort to be there tomorrow for us to talk about this stuff. But thank y'all for tuning in to the post show. I appreciate it. Always glad to have these conversations. Yeah, we will get that situated. And so yeah, also kayfabe this weekend. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all checking in. But I'll check in on y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all come through 3 o'clock. Y'all know the time. So once again, I hope y'all have an incredible night. Go do something nice for yourself before you go to bed. If that's soaking your feet, if that's watching your favorite movie or show or having a snack, or even just going in the mirror and telling yourself a good affirmation, go do something for yourselves before y'all go to bed, man. Y'all deserve it. Get some rest for the limo-sized soapbox tomorrow. Yes, and yes, I will, Sadil. Yes, I will. But y'all have a great night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms. Like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpaw.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.